Hello, everyone. It's Ernest, your host for Business, Money, and Life. Thank you for joining me in today's show. For those of you that know me, let me give you a little bit of my background. Um, I am an accountant, I'm a qualified accountant. I also have 17 years experience working in financial services, pharmaceutical, aviation, telecom. I have a BA in business and law. I have an MBA in financial strategy, and I'm currently doing a PhD in management. I've also started my own company, EDOS Technologies Limited. It's a platform, it's a marketplace platform for mini mobility or micro mobilities, food ordering and food delivery or delivering services, a courier service, on demand courier services, uh, online payment services, and it was essentials. I love sharing, inspiring, and motivating people to become financially independent because I read a statistics or a report a few weeks ago, and that report estimated or says that the global wealth it's about $230 trillion. 230 trillion dollars. That is a lot of money. you know. So, but the question then is, why are so many people living below the poverty line? You know, the the world population is about 7.2 or 7.5 billion people, which means that we all can become billionaires and still have a lot of billions and trillions left to still be acquired. Therefore, for anyone living poverty below poverty line and anyone that is not financially independent, I mean, there's just no excuse for it. I'm not saying that we all we all want to make money or we want, but we all need money. You know, we all need money to fulfill our daily needs. We all need money to fulfill our. I also know that a lot of you, or most of you, must have read or may have read Rich Dad and Poor Dad, The Magic of Thinking Big, The Richest Man in Babylon, Thinking and Grow Rich. These books have wealth of information that, if well applied, if well followed, will definitely help one become financially independent. But there are practicalities and there are methodologies to these. So, having said all of these, all of the above, I just want to get to the main theme for the day, and that is continuing from where we left off from last episode on how to acquire wealth or how to make money and keep it. We're gonna continue on that, and on that episode, I gave a kind of baby steps or things that we must do, uh, things for anyone to do if he or she wants to become financially independent. I kind of lay a foundation, I kind of lay a foundation so that we can build on that foundation because if you are to build a house, you need a foundation. If you can just, you can just wake up in the morning and enter your car or open your door and walk out the door without going nowhere. You can just start driving without a destination. You end up nowhere. So and that was the reason why I laid the foundation on the last episode, so we can build on that foundation. Because once we can have a solid foundation, you know, we are on our way to getting to where we need to be, and that is the ultimate goal of becoming financially independent. You know, becoming financially independent. I mean, becoming financially independent or creating wealth. Let me put it this way: wealth is not just, but it's not just making money. Wealth could be your health, which I'm gonna touch in a later episodes, and it could be, like I said on last episode, living a life of nothing broken, nothing missing. That is all it's all about here. But money is an enabler. Money helps you to lead that life of nothing missing, nothing broken. Because without money, I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine how that would be possible to live a life of nothing missing, nothing broken. So having said all that, on last episode, we talked about things like writing a plan, getting out of debt, becoming debt free and living within your means or your income or your earnings, and having a good savings. Either you're saving for emergency, or you're saving for life savings, or different forms of savings that you want to implement. It could be having life insurance. It could be 401k. It could be having different bank accounts of different, low interest bank account for different things, for different savings. Maybe kids savings for college and things like that, and holiday savings, and mortgage paying off savings, and the list goes on and on. Then we talked about also investment, and lastly, being generous or giving back to the society, or giving back to your community through a good cause, and that you affiliate or that you associate yourself with, because giving back, there's nothing more satisfying and more fulfilling than giving back. There's nothing more enjoyable than helping somebody else. So we're gonna build on that, and then we will elevate it a little further in the next episode. So you must have a plan. We said the last time, you must have a plan, and the question is, what is the plan? It could be a diagram, because some of us are more some of us are more expressive using diagrams, or it could be just a list of steps that you need, but they must be detailed enough to trigger action. They must just list of steps that require time and resources to achieve them. You must know the key words there are resources, time, and detail. What do you want? First of all, you write it down. Also, when I was studying economics, in economics, that's what we call wants, and they said that want, need, and desire are different, which is true. Why they're different? Because you have scarce resources, and scarce resources are your time and the money of people or connection, things like that, to realize it. So want in this case is being said as a lack of something, or deficiency of something. Deficiency of something. That's what you want. That's what you want it, and therefore, because you want it, as a result of wanting something, you must have a desire. You want to be financially independent, but you also, to back up that want of becoming financially independent, you must have a desire, a burning desire, a desire to be financially independent, a desire to live a life of nothing missing, nothing broken. And what is a desire? A strong feeling of wanting, a strong feeling of wishing for something. Do you have that strong feeling that you want it, that you want something, that you want to be financially free? Because being in debt, which I'm going to come next, getting out of debt, not having enough, it's like a chain. I don't know how many of you that have watched some cops series or must have witnessed or seen or even been involved or been arrested or watch a cop series where they get somebody arrested. In some cases, when they put a handcuff in your arms, you can move, or they put chain on your legs, you know, you can move, and that is what poverty does to people. That is what lack does to people. When you don't have, you've been chained. You feel the chain in your arms, you feel the chain in your legs. You've been chained, you can't move, you're not free to do something. You're not free to go on that vacation you want to go. You're not free to send your kids to that college you want to send them. You're not free to buy that stuff that you think maybe to decorate your house, or you're not free to buy that, to purchase that new home. You're not free to buy a new car. You're not free to buy a new clothes. You're not free to go and dine with your family or with your friends or whoever, or whatever, or alone in that fancy restaurant. You're not free to do, to wear that nice clothes or whatever, to wear that jogger or wear that designer, or you're not free to help somebody else, and the list goes on and on and on and on. That is what, or these are the effect of lack and not having enough. But the good news is that we all can break free. I don't know how many of you, I don't know if any of you have ever asked yourself, the people that are the successful people, what do they, how many heads do they have? How many brains do they have? How many hands do they have? How many legs do they have? How many eyeballs do they have? How many ears do they have? How many nostrils do they have? How many mouths do they have? Do they have something that I don't have? The only thing that they have, that those that are lacking, or those that are in want, or those that don't have, the only difference between them is the desire. The desire to be something, the desire to excel, the desire to be successful, the desire to be financially independent, the desire to have that house, the desire to send their kids to that best college or best university there is, the desire to wear that clothes, the desire to wear that perfume, the desire to go on that vacation, the desire, So, and that desire is coming out of your want, because your need, it just will have needs. This is basic needs. You will have needs. Like we say in economics. So it is so important that once we get to that point that we have that burning desire to be financially independent, then we can begin to take these steps, writing down what we want. Have a plan. Write it down where you can see where you can see it. Having a plan is awesome. Having a plan is great. But it's not the end. It's not a plan, it's just a means. It's not the end. A plan is just a start. So you now have a plan. And what next? Now the thing is, you have a plan. Maybe a plan includes to get out of debt, to live what you earn. Live on what you earn, and to save, to invest, and be generous. But here you are, you have no money. So how can you possibly achieve those? But here's what I do. And this is what I've been teaching people, and this is what I've been telling, this is what I tell people. I also teach in my seminars. I often ask people, It's great. You have a plan now, and people always come up to me and say, "But I have debt. I've written these plans. I have them all over the place. Get them stick all over my car, my fridge, and they're like in my bedroom and all that stuff. I have the plans all over the place, but I'm still in debt. And I don't have any savings. So how can I invest and how can I be generous? But I want to be generous. I want to give back to the community that helped me, become a man or become a woman or things like that. So the first thing I tell them is, okay, but there's a way out gradually. I'm not saying that all your debt is gonna wipe away depending on the level and the amount you're owing and stuff like that. But you can start from here, and that will give you a very good head start before you begin to acquire wealth to clean up the rest. First of all, do you have things? Because a lot of us, a lot of us buy stuff. We buy and buy and buy even when we don't use them. Some many people buy stuff on credit cards, on credit and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't use them. Then my question is, why do you buy them? Some of us have clothes, shoes, machineries, in items in the house that we don't use. Why are they there? Why are they just occupying space? Tying your money down, tying your life down, and adding no value to you. Why are you keeping them? So the first starting point to get out of debt is to begin to scan through your wardrobe, scan through your house. Take a scan and scan through your house and see what you can sell, what is not adding value to you. Because life is about adding value. What is it that you have in your house that you're not using or that is not adding value? Because when you read Think and Grow Rich, you will see one principle, and one principle, and it's something I also teach people, and that is, what you have today. For example, you have maybe 1,000 or 1 million or whatever in your bank account. The question is that 1,000 or 1 million, $1, 1 penny that you have in your wallet or you have in your bank account, children, and do they have grandchildren, and do they have great grandchildren? If the answer is no, then you have to change that, because $1, or 1 pound or €1 that you have today should bear children, just like you as a man and woman. When you become an adult, you marry, become parents, and you have children, and your children will have children, which are your grandchildren, and your grandchildren will have great grandchildren of yours. So, and the same thing, whatever asset you have should serve you the same way, especially when it comes to money. 1 pound or $1 or €1 that you have today should bear children tomorrow. And that child of that 1 pound should serve you, just as the father or the mother of that 1 pound is serving you. The grandchildren of that 1 pound should serve you, and the great grandchildren of that 1 pound should serve you. So the 5th, the 10th generation should serve you. So if you have assets that are not serving you, so it's time to get rid of them and replace them. So scan through your cupboards or your closets and see what you can dispose or sell or whatever, and see what you can keep and pay down your debt, and begin to live within your means, within your income. Because until you do that, you will still be in the prison, you still be in the jail of lack, you still be in the jail of not fulfilling your potentials. You still live in the jail of not living your purpose. You still live in the jail, you still be a slave to poverty. You still be a slave to lack, even though you're a free man. So the point is, do you want do you want to be a free man or woman, boy or girl, or you want to be a slave? You know, it doesn't matter who you are. You may be black, white, yellow, purple, green, Japanese, Indians. It doesn't matter. You know, as long as you don't follow the plans, you'll be a slave to poverty. You'll be a slave to lack. You know, you'll be in prison. So, and therefore, once you've done that, then the next thing is to see, okay, is to begin to measure yourself, begin to measure your progress, you know, with your time that you've already put in your planning, and then begin to say, okay, what have I left? You know, how much am I owing? You know, when am I going to get out of this prison? Because normally when you're in prison, you know, normally you have certain period of time. You have to be in prison and you get out. And also you have a period where if you're of a good behavior, they will let you out, you know, before your time to serve is finished. You know, but if you are not of a good behavior, you will stay there, you know, in perpetuity, or until you can prove that yes, you deserved to be let out. The same thing, the same methodology uh, is your debt was apply, or you can apply to being in prison of your debt. You know, until you can prove to your debtors that yes, you deserve to be let out before they can let you out, and the only way you can prove that is by paying down your debt. You know, look for what is not serving you the way it should serve you, dispose it, and reduce your time you spend or you're going to spend in the prison of one's lack and poverty. You know, I hope that makes sense. So, and once you begin to do that, you begin to see your freedom begin to expand. You begin to feel more freer. You begin to feel more empowered. You begin to feel more emboldened. You begin to feel more joyful. You begin to feel more peaceful. You begin to feel more loving and kind. You begin to feel more liberated. You see, you cannot and no one can save or invest, neither be generous when he or she is in debt. When you owe, it's practically impossible for you to save. And you can save from someone else's wealth or money. So therefore, the starting point is for one to have a plan, you know, then get out of debt and begin to live within your means or within your income. Once you've done that, then the next step is, how do I make money? And there are different ways of making money. You can make tons of it. You can make billions of it once you are prepared. Because you see, I read from somebody with this excuse, with this phrase. He said, "Money is like a woman," so to say. You know, the moment if you don't show any interest, or if you don't love her, she will leave you. You know, and that is where money behaves. So you must be very careful with money, and you must know how to treat her right. You must know how to handle her right, because you know, jokingly, he said that money is a woman. You know, you know. So if you don't know how to handle a woman, she will leave you. You know, this goes for a man. Yeah, I mean, this is for men. Likewise, if you don't know the way to talk to a woman, if you don't know the way to respond to a woman, she will leave you. And that's how money behaves. So I want to go back for a second to planning, because that is your foundation. You know, planning works if you can follow it through. You know, if you cannot follow your plan through, then nothing works, because nothing moves until you move. Before I give you the system that I've used over the years that have worked wonders for me, you know, I just wanted to emphasize that because it's going to require a degree of discipline from your part. Because without that, I'm afraid you're not going to be financially independent, regardless your income. You know, so the system that I've used over the years is this. When I was on monthly income, or when I was on wages, or when I was working working for somebody else, as a wage earner, you know. So the system that I used that really worked for me and is still working for me because I'm still using it is this. Every month, I this is how it goes. 10% for emergency into emergency savings account. 10% is what I pay myself. That goes straight to my savings account. That is untouched by regardless what happened during the month or during my 3 years plan I had back then, and even now that I have 5, 10 years period plans, is still there. So the next one is 10% goes to doing good, donate into to charities or a cause that is very important to me. And then 10% goes into my retirement. That in total gives me almost 40% of my income. Then the remaining 60% is what goes into my essentials. Things like uh, pay my rent, then pay my rent, uh, and then every other thing that I have to pay, all my outgoings, whatever. Then 60% is for all my essentials, like, for example, my utility bills, my feeding for the month, uh, my gasoline or my gasoline for my car for the month, um, my leisures in terms of going to a theme park or going on holidays and or going to eat in a restaurant and things like that. But also now I have a holiday bank account where I put money for my family and for all of us going on vacation. So this is a system that worked for me when I was trying to build a foundation, when I was trying to lay a foundation to build on. And I do believe that if anyone can follow the same method or have a similar methodology, that it will definitely work, but it requires discipline to follow it through, because some months you might you might feel like not doing it, or something just cropped up and say, maybe a friend just come up and say, oh, can we do that, can we do that, without you not having discipline. You find it hard to resist, to say no, I don't think I have a place for that this month, or I have a budget for that this month. So, and you know how people are when somebody come up to you and say, can we do this or whatever, can we go there, and you decline, they'll begin to look at you somehow, or they'll begin to distance themselves from you to some extent, or to some degrees. But a true friend will stick with you, you know so, but it's a method that have worked for me, and will work for anyone that tries to employ it or tries to follow it through. So please, I want to ask you a big favor, and that is subscribe to my channel, and please share it. Leave me a comment on the comment section. Either leave me your contact information, and I will definitely contact you either by email or by telephone or any other means. I will definitely contact you. And also, please, um, I have webinars that are coming up next year, and I will be hosting webinars from January till December 2021, practically every week, two webinars that will be dealing with personal financial management. We'll be dealing with business. We're dealing with making money and keeping it. And we'll be dealing with on how you can manage your finances and your life better and manage your investment, identify the investment where you can invest, and how to deal with your inheritance and how to read your financial statement better, because we all have financial statements, and that is our P&Ls, that profit and loss. And everyone has a financial statement, because you have a budget. You spend money or whatever you spend in a month. At least you eat, you clothe yourself, and you enter public transportation or own your own car. So you spend money, and that is part of your outgoings. And also you earn some form of money that comes back, because that enables you to spend. So therefore you have incoming and you have outgoing, and that is your basic P&L, profit and loss account. So I can tell you how to read into those and how to prepare that. I have a program that can teach you or show you the best way to invest, or the best type of the type of business you can start based on what you want to do and what you feel you can do or desire to do. So there's a program that you can follow. I call it weekly doses that you can implement in your everyday life to have a good plan, to have to get out of debt and to live within your means, to have a good savings for your life, to invest, to be generous, and to build financial independence for yourself and your family. So please subscribe, leave me commentaries, and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you for joining me for today's podcast, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed, and au revoir. Bye bye. Arrivederci. Adios amigo. Bye bye.